right, here we go. Monday, it's your lunch break, and we are with Panthers 360 right now on your WPTV News YouTube channel. We are live. Get your comments, questions in. Joined by George Richards, Florida Hockey. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Well, thank you for having me. It's pretty neat. Yeah.
See you all the time around here at the practice facility. We're at Baptist Health Iceplex. And little action on the ice here. Not the actual Cats, but some, maybe some people.
Well, kind of. I mean, Roberto Luongo and Bill Zito and Brian McCabe are out there, so those guys count, right? You got former captain and goalie, the GM. So, yeah, it counts.
We might pan down by the end of this, but hey,
well, Louis is already making some big saves, so he's ready to go.
Listen, so here we are, almost at the 1/4 part of the season, I would say, and a lot going on with our Cats. It's been up and down. We've had some great things happen, but kind of like the headline is Matthew Tkachuk and the players that are injured. When are they coming back? We got some recent news with that. What are you hearing the latest for everybody out there for Matthew Tkachuk, star forward, coming back for the Panthers?
Well, I think the timeline for Matthew Tkachuk is kind of what we thought it was going to be, right? The Florida Panthers said that, Bill Zito said at the beginning of training camp that they thought that Matthew Tkachuk could be back on the ice by mid-December, and now we hear that Matthew Tkachuk in the next 2 weeks will be back on the ice. That doesn't mean he's coming back to play. He's still a long time. Yeah, he's still a ways away from that. But we're looking at January for Matthew Tkachuk. That's kind of what we thought because, listen, he was one of the first 6 players named to Team USA for the Olympics. That's very important to him. Matthew Tkachuk really wants to play in the Olympics, which is on NBC, as we all know, in Italy. He's going to play in the Olympics. So we figured he'd need a couple weeks, months, or a month to get ready for that. So he'll be back with the Panthers probably in January and then be in the Olympics come February.
Have you seen the podcast with him and Brady yet, Ring Man?
It looks pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. It looks, brought to you by the guys that brought you the Kelsey Brothers podcast. So it has that same vibe, right? The two brothers just jawing at each other and chirping each other. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we can hope. And, he said, hey, rehab seems to be going pretty well. So he knows he's going to get thrown right into the fire and need to produce right when he comes back. Talk about a milestone night the other night. There were so many milestones that were hit when we beat the Capitals at Amerant Bank Arena the other night. And one of which, the top one, 1,000 career points for Brad Marchand. Kind of speak to that. Only one or two players in NHL history that hit that mark. He's with us now. He was with the Bruins for such a long time. But how do you view that as things that you've seen in Florida Panthers history besides the Stanley Cup's individual milestones?
Sure, no, individual milestones. There's been so many, right? I mean, I remember speaking about Roberto Luongo over here when he and Jaromir Jagr were teammates on the Panthers. Their locker stalls were right across from each other, and it seemed every night we were interviewing one of the two for some sort of milestone. Jaromir Jagr, obviously, taking possession of second place in scoring. I think, as far as individual honors go, that was one of the biggest in Panthers history. That was a huge night. He takes over from Gordie Howe. That was really neat historically. But we've had a lot of 1,000 games. Jeff Petrie tonight is playing in his 1,000th game. Dmitry Kulikov played in his 1,000th game last year. So you've got a lot of those. I think Roberto Luongo played over 1,000 games as a goalie, which was huge. So there's been a lot. But I'll tell you what, Brad Marchand has meant so much to the Florida Panthers. Coming over from the Boston Bruins, where he was the captain of the Bruins, right? An original 16, an organization just steeped in history. He doesn't even wear a letter for the Florida Panthers and doesn't care to. He knows he's a leader. He's one of those guys, but he has been so important to the Florida Panthers since getting here. Huge in the playoffs last year. Playing on a line with Anton Lundell and Eetu Luosterainen really opened up their game. You can't say enough for Brad Marchand, and he gets a 6-year contract. He ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, and I think another impressive milestone, 6th all-time shorthanded goals, or 8th?
Something like that.
Which is unbelievable in and of itself when you see who's above him.
Sure.
But I won't stump you with that trivia. You know a lot more than me. But at some point, we're going to pan down because Roberto Luongo is in goal. He has his jersey, obviously, in the rafters.
Yep.
We're here at Baptist Health Iceplex. Listen, please get your question and comments in WPTV News, our YouTube channel. So we're going from milestones to now a homestand, okay? And that milestone came at the very beginning of this homestand, 11 out of 12 games at home, a quick trip to Nashville and back in the middle there. But how important is this homestand really to kind of establish where the team is and, perhaps, break ahead of some other teams?
They certainly need to bank some points, right? It's been a little bit of rough sledding for the Panthers. They go into Monday night's game against Vancouver 9-8-1, I believe, treading water. I mean, they're just keeping their head above water of the 500 mark. I think the Tampa Bay Lightning got away with one Saturday night against the Panthers. A lot of AHL guys on that Tampa Bay Lightning team. I don't think they had any reason at all to beat the Panthers, but they did. And God bless them. They did a nice job by the Lightning, but they got away with one. I think the Panthers were pretty upset Saturday night because they knew those were 2 points they probably should have got.
Well, the long penalty too. The major penalty that we couldn't cash in. As our awesome chief photographer for Panther 360 is panning the ice here. These are some men, as George tells us, within the organization. Most notably, though, Roberto Luongo in goal. What a treat on your lunch break on a Monday you get to see there, and making some saves, having some fun with it. He likes to do this from time to time.
Yeah, and I think Vancouver wouldn't mind having him in that tonight. We don't know who's playing for them on Monday night, but Louis looks like he could go for him.
Yep. Well, here you are at the morning skate, George. Do you have a game day routine when you're covering home games at Amerant Bank Arena? Any superstitions you like to go through?
No superstitions. I just like to get there on time. I think that's the number one thing. Getting to the arena at a decent hour is my superstition. But no, come here for the morning skate. Always fun. Make the drive to Fort Lauderdale and then back towards sunrise. And we talk to Paul in the morning. It's kind of the same day after. Get here, have my Celsius.
Yeah.
Wake up a little bit. And talk to some players today. We talked to Seth Jones. We spoke with Jeff Petrie, obviously playing in his 1,000th game. So, good times.
Not really any big superstitions or anything. Speaking of Petrie, let me ask you about him and Sabrango.
I tape my pens.
Okay.
Yeah, I tape my pens at 4:30.
See, I knew there was something.
Yeah.
I knew there was something. When Petrie and Sabrango are on the ice, they seem to pair very well.
Yes.
What is it that makes two defensemen pair well together? Is it the communication for those that might not know hockey very well here on Panthers 360?
It's one of those things that we always ask, where do you get that chemistry? It just kind of happens. And I think that Petrie and Sabrango, it worked. I mean, we didn't, right. From day one, Petrie was with Dmitry Kulikov. We only got to see a couple games of that. Kulikov hurt his shoulder, so that was a very small sample size. Didn't get to really see how good Petrie and Kulikov, two veteran guys, could be. Uvis Balinskis comes in on that left side. He's going to play tonight. So we're going to get to see Uvis Balinskis again. And there was just something, it seemed, a little bit off, but they put Sabrango back there, and it really worked. Thing is, he's played the past 7 games, and Florida does not want Uvis Balinskis to be out of the lineup as long. This is a good opportunity for Uvis to get back in. Let Sabrango take a breath. He's not used to this, right? Before he came to the Panthers, off waivers. Nice pickup by Bill Zito and team. Again, another one. He'd only played in 4 NHL games, 2 last season and the first 2 this season for the Ottawa Senators. They tried to get him to the minors to get more playing time. Florida scoops him up. It worked. He and Jeff Petrie worked. But this is, like I said, an opportunity for Uvis Balinskis to get back in there. He played so well for Florida the past couple years. They really want to get him in. So, but Sabrango, not going anywhere.
No. Hopefully not. Listen, again, we'll get your answers to your questions, your comments on the WPTV News YouTube page. Panthers 360 here. Again, we're getting a treat from some within the organization, including the man that has his name hung in the rafters, Roberto Luongo.
And his number retired.
Yes.
Yeah, last guy to wear number 1 for the Florida Panthers, Roberto Luongo. Yeah.
But anyway, this has been George Richards, Florida Hockey Now, and people can read your publication online each and every day.
Yeah, check out FloridaHockeyNow.com right now. It's all the Panther news you need.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Okay.
covering the team since 2004. Thank
Yeah,
you.
been a while.
What a ride it's been. You've seen the rise. You've seen everything. That's George Richards with us. Here we go.
Good seeing you.
Listen, Canucks tonight. Who knows who got the rest of the week? But listen, hoping that the Panthers make another cup run, including just getting through this homestand.
Yeah, it'll be a good start.
We'll see you, everyone.
Thanks.